Good morning, YouTube viewers. And it's a cloudy day, but it's actually a beautiful, beautiful morning. And I want everybody out there to have a beautiful morning. I see it, notice it in my face, I'm a little groggy, but at the same time, I'm ready to go out here and get this in and get the day started. But today, the topic is on you know, how honest we are with ourselves and, how we compromise, our morals and our honesty that we have for ourselves in different situations. So, for the men, I want to use a bicycle as an example. And for the women, I want to use a bracelet, something nice, something pretty, for the ladies. But, the message is the same. And okay, so we're in the neighborhood, and we have our set of friends, and but another a friend of mine, his friend is selling a bicycle. So the bicycle that he's selling, since he's a friend of mine, hey, I need a bike, but I don't have all the money to purchase the bike. So I say, well, come on, introduce me to this guy, and let's hang out. I want to find out a little more about the bike. So now I spend the next 2 weeks, with the kid that's selling the bike, and I see, he's putting on a new chain, he put on a new tire, put on a new seat, and I'm like, saying to him like, wow, that whoever gets this is gonna be good, you know, and for the women, a friend of yours, you're in high school, and your girlfriend's friend, she's selling this, pretty bracelet. You know her, but you don't know her all too well. So you're like, hey, can you introduce us? So now you're starting to spend time with her friend, you know, and she's not ready to sell the bracelet. She's giving you a date to say, I'm looking to sell it, next month, when I get a new one. I'm getting a new one, and I want to get rid of this one. So uh, time goes on, it's time for her to sell it. So now it's like, hey, I'm interested in the bracelet. And she turns around, she says to you, well, I sold it. And now I'm going to go back to the guys. And it's the same thing. The time goes by, you've seen them fix it and everything else like that. And then you go back and you say, hey, now you got the courage to say, hey, I came up with the money. I have the money for it, but I'm a little short. And then he says, I sold it. So, there's two ways that we can look at this. The majority of ways how it's been in life is that, hey, I thought that, you're going to get in your feelings because you felt some kind of way. Like, since you were close to the person, you would know that, this was going to take place. So you knew the proper time. So in a sense, we go into a situation, we compromise our morals. And instead of saying, going to the person and say, hey, I want to buy this bike, but I'm a little short, can I give you this and, give you the rest? And the same thing goes with the bracelet, instead of going to her and say, hey, I want to buy it. But what we did was we felt that, get close to the person. And that's the same way in the workplace. It's the same way within relationships where, someone goes out as a friend, and then, they're spending all this time, and then they, the person says, well, I'm in a relationship, but that person wasn't in a relationship when you had first encountered them. You know, a lot of that has to do with, we have to turn around, we have to look at us. And we have to look at, when we compromise these things, when we compromise how we feel, when we compromise our honesty, these things come back to, bite us in the ass in life. And even though we do them on a small scale, you know, uh, the results are pretty much the same, even if it, was on a bigger scale, which is a relationship where a person knows that, that you're interested in them. But, we hold back, and, we try to control the narrative. And what this video is about is to say, you can't control any narrative. The only narrative that we can control in life is a narrative that has to do with ourselves. And this is what allows us in relationships. Now, we can look at it in terms of being in a relationship and, where you're at an event and your significant other, says something really, really like underhanded. It might be the first, well, we'll say it is the first time in a relationship. So, you know that something wasn't right about it. But then you say, okay, well, I'll be the bigger person. I'll be understanding. No, because right then and there, you compromised who you were. You compromised your morals and you compromised your values, you know, and once you lose those, once you minimize, different things and try to understand different things that are going on and letting things slide, these things, we all know these things continue to happen. They grow and they grow and they grow. But what I'm saying here is that, when these things occur, number one, never go into a situation and have a hidden agenda that you have. Because if you have a hidden agenda that you expect a certain result in things, then you did this. You can't walk away from a situation and be like, oh man, get in your feelings and feel some kind of way because your motive, what you did something that was outside of the character that you're presenting. So what I say is, be honest with yourself and always be true to yourself, and lastly, what I want to say about this is, you know, you can go to therapy or you can talk to a friend, and 9 out of 10 times, this is with everyone. They're never saying the whole story. And in order for you to be whole, in order for you to get accurate advice, in order for you to get true advice, in order for you to grow, you have to, we have to work on, the honesty that we have for ourselves and not compromise honesty in our morals and our values for anyone. And this is why, I wake up every morning, to share these thoughts. I don't write anything down. In the beginning, I was, and if these would probably be a lot better and sound a lot better if I did. But I don't. I want everything to come true. I want everything to come raw. So if I bounce all over the place, it's telling you that, hey, I'm not speaking to you from just anything. I mean, from just writing things down and say, hey, I'm gonna write off a script. No, I'm saying that, hey, we're all in this together, and I don't have all the answers, but, I do know, what direction I'm going into and where my subconscious is waking up to. And part of that is honesty, and part of growing every day becoming more and more honest with myself, which allows me to be honest with others, regardless of how they take that honesty and what they do with it. It will not change me. And hopefully, as we all go along and we build on the honesty within ourselves, we don't allow what's on the outside, to change us because it's the outside that right now is influencing us. When do we influence ourselves? So, stay honest, stay true, um, click, like, share, share with someone. They might, get something from this. So I look forward to the next video and everyone have a beautiful day and thank you very much for being here and supporting me. Peace and blessings.